Hi everyone, this is Marie Blue Angel here, and today I will be playing Dual Chroma, which is a Otome Jam 2023 entry. Um, and it's very exciting because it's a dark fantasy themed visual novel story, and even more excitingly, the Kickstarter for this lovely game has just commenced. I believe it is actually um, it's only been a day or so. So I'm getting a chance to play the demo because I've been highly intrigued by what it has to offer, and I've been seeing things on Twitter, all the artwork and everything, and I've just now have found the time to get into it. So I'm very excited. I love the title screen already. I don't remember the name of this character, but look at the shirt. The shirt's fun. It has the ruffles. Also, you're on a boat and you're just like relaxing with a book, and there's pastries. There's even a koi fish in the water. I love it. It looks very nice. Looks very good. So anyways, let's just get started and see what's going to happen here. Get full experience including turn-based. Skip the battles? I will say I'm not very good. I don't really know how to do turn-based battles, but I'm gonna try.
It
Don't
took
make
the
fun of me.
last of my strength to bring you all the way here.
Sorry. Yes.
But you can rest now, my love. Iron's blooms are poor companions for you. You should have been laid in gold. As they do for your patron. May they at least bring you peace. It seems only yesterday you told me that we would be together always. Was this what you imagined? Please, if we meet again in the next life, forgive me.
Oh. Okay, so I'm assuming this is going to be us. Oh. Oh, different purples. Oh. This one's fun. Okay. Oh, I didn't even realize they were slightly different colors. I was just like, why are they blank? Anyways, that's just me not having wonderfully beautiful eyes that, like, can see color properly. But look at this outfit. Ooh. Okay. Lady... series? I'm gonna put Chantel. Lady Chantel Estia. Okay, let's continue. Of all the times for this to happen, why now? Oh, look at this mask. I see a man in armor, surrounded by thorns and shadows. All I can make out is the piercing glow of his eyes. What's going on? Just as I reach out to try and clear away some of those thorns, sinister laughter fills my ears and the image vanishes. That was strange and inconvenient. Oh, sod it, Chantal. It's probably nothing. Let's just go see Roshan now. Today's the day. I can feel it.
Come in.
Oh. I quickly shake off the effects of that vague vision as I enter.
Is everything quite all right?
Oh, look at the animation for speaking. That's fun. And we got a little pipe. That's fun. I like your outfit. I like the robes. Yes, of course. More to the point, is it here?
Indeed. It arrived early just this morning.
Ooh, what arrived this morning? Yes. Immediately, I run to the desk and find a letter addressed to me. On the seal lies the imperial crest. My hands start to shake slightly. Oh, Septim's grace. It's finally happening.
Well, Aren't you going to open it?
It's kind of scary. Yes, but what if they rejected me?
I have known you for a long time, both as a student and as a member of this academy's faculty. Would I have recommended you for this position if I had any doubts that you would get it?
No, you wouldn't, but there's still the technical chance. No, of course not. It's just a huge moment for me, and I don't want anything to go wrong.
Well, you'll never know unless you take that first step.
True words. Right. No use delaying the inevitable.
Indeed. Open it.
I carefully undo the seal and remove the letter inside. A pristine script reads, Dear Lady Astia, it is with great pleasure that I write to you requesting your immediate presence in the capital of Altea. Oh, do I have to? Sorry, I just realized I should probably highlight over these or click these. The sprawling capital city of Galans, enduring residence of Galatian politics and the Imperial Palace. Based on your application, it has been decided that you will be my newest personal advisor in court. Should you choose to accept this position, I require that you report to the palace in Altea post-haste. I look forward to making your acquaintance. Signed, His Imperial Highness, the second Prince of the Galans Empire, the beating heart of the Empire, known as Galatea prior to the unification 1,000 years ago. Keldranon Auril Galans, the second Imperial Prince of Galans, son of Emperor Kostas and Fey Lady Elodiel. I thought you said this position was for a member of the Imperial Court.
Quite. Although for security's sake, I was obligated to keep his full identity a secret. And I wish I could say that I was surprised to see him asking for a new advisor, but I'm not.
Am I dreaming? Have I truly been selected as a personal advisor to the second... Ugh.
What's wrong?
There's a strange scent that wafts off the parchment, hauntingly familiar as my vision fades to black. Oh no. Is this the second prince person? A sinister laugh echoes. So, you've finally awoken. What? Who's there? Oh. I like your character design. This should not be the first thing. I could be in mortal danger, and I'm like, yes, character design, you look good, thank you. The darkness seeps away slowly, and I see the same man from before. Only now his face is less concealed, and I'm frozen in place under the sheer weight of his... Oh, I know those golden eyes. What is this? Who are you?
All in due time, dear one. We've waited this long after all. How I've longed to see those eyes again.
Maybe this is... Okay, so maybe not the prince, I'm assuming? I don't know. What are you talking about? I've never met you.
Being coy now? Really, it's rude of you to have kept me waiting like this.
Waiting? Waiting for what? The man ignores me, instead outstretching a gloved hand towards my face. I flinch back on instinct.
Kanisi's golden light will finally be snuffed out by eternal night.
The first Emperor of Galans and hero of the Ashen War. He is revered by the people of the Galatian Empire. The image starts to fade. Wait! Come back here! Explain yourself! Explain yourself! The speaker only laughs, his face and form folding into thorns and darkness once more. Oh.
Focus!
I drift back to the present. Roshen, who is the headmaster of Lumen's Academy in Elmity's Gallons, standing close to me as he has his hands fall from my head. A few flickers of violet magic fade from his fingers. Ugh. My head feels like it's exploded. What happened?
You had a vision, a powerful one, it seems. I had to help guide you back this time. Tell me, what did you see?
I saw... I don't know what I saw. Should I just be truthful? Darkness? A man? Or do I lie? I don't know who this man is. +1 pensive. I hate lying to Roshan like this, but it feels like that I'm incapable of performing my duties. If he feels that I'm incapable of performing my duties, he may make me stay here. I don't want to disappoint anyone. I saw a woman, Headmaster. I couldn't see most of her face, but I felt as though she was smiling. It just took me by surprise is all. Are you sure? Positive, sir.
If you're not feeling well, perhaps we should...
No! No, I'm quite alright. It was just a shock, that's all.
While I am glad to hear that, if you're hit with a vision while at court, it will not reflect well on you. The Empress herself is a violet mage, and they will expect you to conduct yourself well.
A magician who serves the goddess of fate's Rona. They typically have farsight powers and can see the lines of magic. But, Headmaster, I've come too far just to turn back now. I'll be extra vigilant in the future, I promise. Plus, my family is counting on me.
I've also seen many bright young stars flicker out under pressure at the Imperial courts. I'd be saddened if that happened to you.
Well, I'm sure it won't happen. Headmaster, the second prince personally asked for me. Do you think I can't handle this?
To be frank, I'm certain someone must have forced him to choose an advisor in the end.
I've never heard the headmaster speak like this of anyone before. And about someone from the Imperial family, to boot. Why would you say that?
He was, for a brief period, a student here. Brilliant, yes, but stubborn. Unfortunately, right before his graduation, he got into an altercation that resulted in another student's injury.
Really?
He had to leave after that.
After that, he was asked to leave. I hold my tongue instead of answering. I feel as though the situation is too delicate for me to form any judgments just yet. Don't be too concerned. I'm certain that time must have mellowed out some of his temper by now. Perhaps you might be what the prince needs to gain a new perspective he sorely lacks. Thank you, Headmaster. I will miss you terribly while I'm gone. As will I, Chantal. May I at least ask when we might expect the next Penrose novel? I suspect he might have more time to write soon. The headmaster avoids my gaze at the mention of the name. Not many people in Altea would assume this astute academic and former explorer was also the much-beloved romance and adventure author Penrose. Ooh, I love that double life! Why can't you have it all? Can have all the careers. Altea, the sprawling capital city of Gallons, enduring residence of Galatian politics and the Imperial Palace. I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about. Of course, nothing will beat my favorite novel. Under the Light of Stars. Two lovers separated by class, fighting against all odds to be together. What's not to love? I never would have guessed you were such a romantic. Only in fantasy, really, Headmaster. You're still young. You never know what you may discover. Well then, if that's settled, I do believe you have some packing to do. Yes, of course. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me, Headmaster. I promise I will write soon. I look forward to it. Until we next meet, Headmaster. Until we next meet. I bow before I turn to leave, forcing myself not to run down the halls like an excited child. Although, there's a notable skip in my step as I near my bedroom door. I really like all of this so far. The story's fun. I like the choices. I like that the choices are leading to different, I'm assuming, skills that I will need in battle. Don't really know how to do that part, but we'll get there when we get there. I like the backgrounds. I like the characters. The voice acting's been good so far also. So great. I love it. I'm intrigued. Definitely. The carriage ride over was rather quiet. I didn't want to pry or annoy the footman who greeted me with idle chit-chat, but the silence was awkward. The tension is making me sick. Or maybe that's just leftover seasickness from the preliminary boat ride. Meanwhile, Roshan's opinion on the second prince lingers in the back of my mind. I don't want to make any judgments myself until I actually meet the prince in person. My lady, we're here. I snap out of my thoughts and look out of the window. An audible gasp escapes my lips as the palace gates come into view, and I have to stop myself from jumping in my seat. As the carriage crosses the moat and enters the grounds, the sheer beauty of the landscaping takes my breath away. Everything is pristine, as expected of the Imperial Gardens. My goodness! What is that? What is it? Apologies, but it appears Her Imperial Majesty has joined the greeting party herself, and I'm just shocked. Oh. What? I whip my head around, and to my absolute shock, there stands Phoenicia Ignis Gallens, escorted by her personal servants at the grand front doors of the palace. The third Empress of Gallens and Princess of Rovenia, wife to Emperor Kostas and mother to Lucian. Okay. Third wife to Emperor Kostas and mother to Lucian, the third prince. I know well the hush controversy surrounding her. No matter what the rumors are, though, this is the Empress of the Empire. I must make a good first impression. The carriage slows to stop, and I take a steadying breath as the footman exits on the opposite end. Drawing myself up to my full height, I wait until the carriage door opens and make my exit. I'm also drawing myself to my full height while I'm sitting down because we need to make a good impression. Oh my, I love the green. Your Majesty, I present to you Lady Chantal Rovenia, formerly of Lumen's Academy. She is here to assume her post as the second prince's advisor. Rovenia, vassal state of the Empire with a troubled history of numerous rebellions, a figurehead king currently sits upon its throne. Ooh, this background's fun. Taking my cue, I bow before the Empress. I'm humbled to make your acquaintance, Your Majesty. I assure you that I will fulfill my duties to the fullest of my capabilities. Phoenicia doesn't reply, but clears her throat softly, signaling me to rise. I hold back the urge to gulp. She looks down at me, sizing me up briefly.
You honor us with your swift arrival. You are from Rovenia, and, if I'm correct, a distant relation of my own.
Uh-huh. Correct, Your Majesty.
I expect great things from you, then. I had hoped that the second prince would have been here to greet you himself, but alas, he is indisposed at the moment.
Okay, that's fine, I guess.
One would hope that at his age he'd start acting more appropriately for his station. Perhaps now that you're here, you could see if you're up to the task of bringing him around to reason.
This seems a bit sudden, but I couldn't possibly disobey. Of course, Your Majesty. What exactly would you have me do?
I would like for you to convince him to meet with the visiting duke and his daughter. He wanted to discuss the prospect of marriage, but the second prince vanished the moment word of it was uttered.
How old is the second prince? How old are we? I need to check that. What will I do about finding the second prince? act genially, take charge of the situation. Time to steer away from this unpleasant topic. Either way, it seems prudent that I recover the second prince as soon as possible, yes? With your permission, I'll use my magic to make finding him easier. You are a violet mage as well? She considers this for a moment before waving her hand. Do as you must. Something about her sets me on edge, but it's too late now. One way or another, I'll have to seek out the prince. A pregnant pause hangs in the air before I clear my throat awkwardly. May I ask your majesty where the second prince might be at this time? If that will be all you require, then I will ask to go find the second prince immediately. Just as I bow to take my leave, the Empress stops me. One moment, Lady Chantal. Answer me one more question before you go find that boy. Oh, of course, your majesty. What do you wish to know? I'm curious. How confident are you in your magic? Is she doubting me? I graduated at the top of my class and have continued my studies with Headmaster Roshan personally. I would say I'm proficient. We'll see. Now go. We shall speak more later. With that dismissal, she turns and leaves with her entourage. I turn and head deeper into the palace gardens, head held high and fists clenched. I will find His Highness one way or another. Okay, first missive. We're not going to get a little break. The gardens are truly magnificent to behold. Rare and exotic plants from all over the empire are kept neatly in their respective beds, with statues and fountains decorating the various pathways. I can certainly tell that it's easy to get lost in here. But first, to find the prince. I close my eyes and let my magic pulse lightly around me, honing in on a faint and familiar sensation. The traces of a spell, not recently cast, but its remnants recently disturbed. This doesn't feel like the usual horticultural spells used to maintain plants. That'd be really cool, like living in a world where like you gotta use magic, but then you can use it like for like maintaining landscape and gardening and stuff. That's fun. I slowly follow the trail until I come across a stone mural of sorts, nestled among some hedges and covered in moss. At a glance it seems unremarkable, but the trail leads here, and I step closer. Okay, there's a royalty, there's an angel? Maybe a bishop of some sort with a sword, maybe knighthood? And there's people. Various parts of the surface are faded, but the scene depicted could not be more clear. A tableau of Ashen Lord's final defeat at the hands of Emperor Kinesis. The latter stands triumphantly over the former, crisis in hand. Chrysos. Gray's gargoyle-like creatures with limited intelligence. Nonetheless, they are capable of killing magi and use magic unknown to the Septum. The first Emperor of Gallons and hero of the Ashen War, he is revered by the Empire people. The face of the Ashen Lord appears to be scuffed out, violently so, almost as if on purpose, by someone long ago. Come to think of it, there are no surviving depictions of the Ashen Lord's face in existence. At least, not to my knowledge. Considering his evils, I understand why. But from an academic's perspective, that seems suspect. That's true. I can see that. I glance over and spot my ancestor, Minerva, standing behind Kinesis with her customary veil concealing her face. Okay, that's who we were in the beginning. And they were losing their lover? Or her lover? The Princess of Esternia, who walked in Aradel 1,000 years ago, a revered and legendary sorceress. It's almost as if she mourned. For the Ashen Lord, maybe? Maybe. I could see that. That would make sense. Actually, maybe that is who it was that Minerva was looking at, who was already dead in the beginning. / in the past. I feel a sharp sensation in the back of my mind. Magic so concentrated that my own magic flares briefly. There's definitely something here. I follow the pole just to the side of the mural where the hedges seem denser and less well kept. As I lift my hand, I feel something solid push back. It's a barrier. Oh, that was really cool. We get to see it on screen. Its sheen resembles gold magic. This was cast by an Imperial. I think I'm onto you, Prince Keldronon. Sorry, I couldn't read for a second. Now, to get through this barrier. Examine it first? I take a moment to summon a scrying spell, letting it wash over the barrier. Ooh, that's cool. This barrier feels strong and old. Far older than the prince. So someone else cast it from the Imperial family. What if someone else cast a spell and the prince isn't here at all? Only one way to find out. I summon my magic once more and push a little further, watching as the barrier parts wide enough for me to pass through. Ducking through the opening, I make my way between the hedges. Ooh. This is pretty. It looks peaceful. Well, this is where we saw the man from earlier, in this boat, with this pastry table server thing. What do you call these? A tray? I don't know. The word is escaping me right now. And I love that it's like golden leaves and a peaceful little lake, and it's like sunset. It's so beautiful. I love this background. When I step out, it's as if I've wandered into another world entirely. Unlike the Imperial Gardens on the other side, the flora that grows here is more wild and unkempt. A sort of beautiful, organized chaos. It feels as though I've stepped into a painting. I take in my surroundings, slowly moving along the moss-covered cobblestone path and take careful not to trip. What is our face doing? Is it just like we're baring our teeth a little bit? Or are we just like walking around? It's kind of funny. Or I think I'm seeing that right. That's funny. I like that we blink. Blink, blink. Birdsong flits through the trees, and the fragrant smell of wildflowers perfumes the breeze. I feel entirely lost here, like in a pleasant dream. In the near distance, I spot a reflection of blue through the trees. Hurrying down the path, my breath catches as I behold a small shimmering lake nestled in the lower part of the gardens. It's beautiful. It's only as I get closer that something else catches my eye. A small, ornate boat gently floating across the surface. There's someone inside the boat. The person inside adjusts, and I get a full view of his face, and I freeze just shy of the shore. It's him. Prince Keldronon. Oh, you're fancy looking. I love your, like, brooch and stuff. Oh, I'm a sucker for, like, characters who have blue in their, like, aesthetic. Wow, like, underneath these, like, pretty flowers also. The miniature portraits printed in the papers cannot hope to do his appearance justice. Most striking are his eyes. A striking gold, unique to the direct descendants of Kinesis alone. Despite the intensity of his features, there's a softness in his expression as he lounges casually in the boat. I notice there's a book in his hand. What book? Wait a moment. I recognize that cover. Isn't that Sands of Time? Is that the book we picked earlier? I can't remember. I take a step closer to get a better look, but accidentally snap on a twig beneath my foot. Oh, the shift in eyes. When my eyes fall on the prince again, he is already looking at me, one brow raised imperiously. Oh, so that wasn't a trick of the light earlier. You got through the barrier. Oh my god, look at this! Look at this, like, side. This is cute! Oh, his hair's really, like, dark brunette golden. He looks so good. It's like the jewelry matches him. Great job. Oh my goodness. It's just very aesthetically pleasing. I will say I know this is more dark fantasy and not really like a romance thing, so who knows what's happening there. I'm not usually follow for people who are like blonde and whatnot, but this one, I can't deny that he is a handsome man. My apologies, Your Highness, but The words die in my throat as he sits up, stowing the book away. Wordlessly, a glimmer of magic shines off his fingertips, and the boat moves gently over the water towards a small docking area. As soon as the boat reaches the dock, it stops and he dismounts it gracefully. Oh, you look so good. Look, I think I just really love the like combination of like the brown, gold, yellow with the blues. I love this pairing particularly. White looks good also with this. In a few long strides, he stands in front of me. His disgruntled expression remains in place the entire time, yet I have to remind myself to breathe. It doesn't help that he's so tall. Keep it together, Chantal. Prince Caldranon looks me up and down, and on instinct, I avoid direct eye contact.
Those concealment spells have been in place since before I was born. How were you able to get through?
I'm good at my job, thank you. I think it would be better if I gave the whole story rather than in pieces.
Please do.
With raised eyebrow, he says. My name is Chantal, and until recently, I was a teaching assistant and seminar tutor at Lumen's Academy. As of this day, I am to be your new advisor, Your Highness. He seems taken aback for a moment, looking at me as if I were telling some joke or tall tale. He spots the Lumen's crest on my clothes and scoffs.
I knew I should have read those applications more thoroughly.
You mean you didn't even read?
It's nothing against your credentials. I just wanted to get the Empress off my back about the whole advisor issue as quickly as possible.
Oh my god, then you could have just done a better job and read. I'm sure there were more people applying. Well, whatever the reason may be, I'm here now, and I intend to make the most of my position here.
Very well. You still haven't answered my question from before. Before we continue to the topic of your qualifications as my advisor, indulge my curiosity, will you? How did you get through that barrier?
I'm smart as hell. I've studied. Your girl studied so hard and practiced whatever magic-y nonsense, because I don't understand as a non-participator in this world. Your girl studied real hard. Why are you questioning my qualifications right now? Our qualifications. A little rude. That's the whole point. She's talking about that because that's how she got through the barrier. She has skills. I detected it with my magic, and the barrier let me through.
Is that so? Show me, please.
Well, at least this time he said please. I hold up my hands and summon a flare of magic in the center of my palms. The prince's demeanor shifts entirely the moment he recognizes the hue.
You're
A violet mage? Indeed I am, Your Highness. I stub out the small flare before I cross my arms triumphantly, as you should, waiting as the prince processes the information. That explains how you were able to see the barrier, at least. But that can't be the sole reason why you were able to pass it. Otherwise, Phoenicia would have found this place ages ago. Yes, but I didn't actually have to use any magic to get through. The barrier seemed to recognize, well, me, and let me in. I can't explain it, Your Highness, but I have a theory. Perhaps an Imperial coded it to a violet mage in the past.
a spell coded to a specific mage's bloodline. That makes sense if we're talking about mine, but yours? Seems a bit of a stretch to me.
I mean, that... Oh, do we know who we are? I mean, like, I mean that legitimately. Do I know who I am? Like, what's my bloodline and all that? I'm not sure. Well, I did say it was a theory. Oh yes, your ancestor. Besides, my ancestor is Minerva.
Is that so? I thought that bloodline hasn't produced a violet mage apart from Phoenicia in generations.
And yet, here I am.
Here you are.
His scrutinous gaze renders me speechless, and I feel my face growing a bit hot.
We'll have to test your theory soon, then.
Really? You agree that it's possible?
It's hard to say. This garden has been kept secret from the rest of my family since I was a child, and I'd prefer to keep it that way.
Do people just call you Keldrin instead of Keldronon? Yes, of course, Your High... He waves his hand dismissively.
Please do stop tacking that phrase at the end of every other sentence. Unless you're planning on getting on my nerves since day one, like every single advisor I've had previously.
Okay, fine. Oh well, if you insist, then I won't.
Huh?
Just like that? No questions? Well, you did say please. Besides, it's not like I can refuse such a simple order.
Oh.
Cheeky and bold. I'm not sure whether to be worried or excited. Is he being serious? That's, I mean, thank you, but this isn't the important matter here. Oh, then what is it, dear advisor? I understand that the circumstances of our first meeting are rather unorthodox, but it is my duty to ask that you accompany me to meet with the visiting duke and his daughter. The words feel clumsy on my tongue, and the prince doesn't seem to buy it one bit. Sounds like Empress Phoenicia has already made quite the impression on you. I tell you what, since it is your first day, I'll go easy on you. But first, care to join me for a picnic? Lunch? Now? As if on cue, my stomach rumbles and I flinch. We also just went on a little boat ride and carriage ride. I'm sure we're hungry. I hadn't eaten anything since I nearly became sick on the boat, and now I'm starting to feel the consequences. It must have been loud enough for the prince to hear, because he chuckles softly. Cute. I'm not cute. As mortifying as this is, a picnic does sound pleasant right now. I have to keep my composure, play it cool, and maintain a professional attitude. As you wish, your Prince Keldrenon. Prince Keldrenon smiles at that and waves over a servant I hadn't noticed before. He sets up a nearby table with a fine yet light spread, including a pot of tea. Please, have a seat. In all of the confusion, I'm afraid I missed your name earlier. Terribly rude of me, I apologize. Oh, it's Chantal, Prince Keldrenon. It's no trouble at all. Chantal? A lovely name. And you're a Rovenian? Yes, actually. I see. I once knew another Rovenian, a man named Maiden. Although I must ask you one thing going forward, dear advisor. What is it? And call me Keldrin. Even Prince gets tiresome after a while. Okay, Keldrin. Okay. Despite the strange circumstances, I can't stop the laugh from coming through at his request. It's the atmosphere of the hidden lake that helps me relax a little, but somehow he's a lot more approachable than I expected. Very well, Keldrin. He seems pleased by that. Lunch turns out to be a pleasant affair. The servant, Elias, is Keldrin's personal servant and a pleasant, a bit timid fellow. After a while, he leaves us for some privacy at the prince's request. But the prince, no, Keldrin, trusts him to be at his secret lake. It's nice to see that he has some friends. And at first, I feel a little awkward knowing that, back at the palace, Empress Phoenicia is expecting me to follow through with her request. She didn't necessarily specify when I had to bring him back to the palace. The prince regales me with tales of his ventures at the forts by the Empire's borders, and the most recent being Fort Ambrose. The lands beyond our borders are barren and near lifeless, and yet an attack could come at any time. So, you've actually seen the Ashen? Fought them? Crazed, gargoyle-like creatures with limited... Oh, this is... Okay. Like the Ashen Lord that was defeated by the first Emperor of Gallants, I assume? Yes, although they're hardly as formidable as the history books and ballads make them out to be. Whenever they do attack, disposing of them is more like pest control. You make them sound no better than wild animals. Less than that, a lion, a fox, even an ant has a purpose, and are part of the grand landscape of living. Humans and Fae are no different. But the Ashen, especially the ones at the forts, are mere shadows of life. I've never heard Ashen described like that. Yes, well, the courts all prefer their embellished histories and frightening monsters as opposed to hearing the truth. I'm not surprised that you wouldn't know. The old codger at Lumens wouldn't have said anything. Headmaster Roshan? That's a crude way to speak of him. We never got along, but he was the only one who told me what Ashen might be like before I left for the forts at first. I do owe him that. Roshan did mention an incident before. Why don't you tell me about some of your travels? My travels? You have spent time outside of Rovenian and Lumen's halls, I hope. The only kind of adventuring I've done has been vicariously through my books. My silence seems to be telling as Keldrin's smile falls. And this is your first time in the capital, isn't it? Yes. My family and I didn't have the luxury to travel much. Whatever savings we had went towards my education. Well, that won't do. How can you expect to advise on affairs of the Empire if you've barely seen any of it? That's actually not a bad point. If I had a choice, I would have liked to have seen the coast. There are so many island communities just off the coast. I always thought it would be interesting to visit them. With a wink, he says, "Didn't you mention earlier that you got seasick on the boat here?" Yes, but I am still interested in the coast. It was my first time. I just need the opportunity to find my sea legs. Perhaps that can be remedied in due time. If you manage to stick it out here, that is. Are you that convinced that I'm incapable of being your advisor? Me? Not at all. But I'm not the only member at court you'll have to impress. I'm afraid. Sorry, that was a long pause between the two. Tell me, dear advisor, what do you plan on doing about the Duke and his daughter? Okay, I don't know. I mean, we're already gone long enough. Do we go? Unpleasant affairs comes with being royalty. Well, I don't know. I don't know your life. There's no harm in staying longer. Well, the Empress only asked that I find you. Technically speaking, I can bring you back anytime.
Oh.
And here I thought you were the perfect academic, who always did what they're told. What? Am I not allowed to my own small delinquencies? Besides, the idea of arranged marriages in this day and age is just uninspired. You mean unromantic? Coming from a prince who reads Penrose's romance novels in his spare time. He glances down at the novel in question lying on the table and slides it towards himself, leaning forward slightly. Reading romance is a pastime of mine, but I much prefer living out the real thing. Don't you? A romantic and a flirt? Keep it together, Chantal. Absolutely, we have to keep it together. Why would a prince need to escape into romance novels? Surely you could have anything, or anyone you wanted. Sure, on the outside it seems like a charmed life. In reality, it's unbearable on the worst days. So, that's why you travel to the forts. Partially, it's the closest I can get to any true adventure during these peaceful times. And even then. He pauses, staring off into the distance. 1,000 thoughts seem to flit through his eyes, but none make it past his mouth. What would be a grand adventure worthy of you, then? Anything at all? Well, let's see. Anything that would take me to far-off places. I once had an ancestor long ago who apparently took off one day on a boat and sailed to every corner of the Empire on his own. Back when our world was young and there remained things to discover in it. Not to mention, he left quite the trail of broken hearts as well. I wouldn't mind adding a few more to my count either. Ugh, I can't help but scoff and roll my eyes. You're terrible. Dear Chantal, you haven't even scratched the surface yet. I hope Empress Phoenicia won't be too cross with the prince, or myself for that matter. At least, after this, I can truly get settled here, though. Keldrin walks slightly ahead of me as we head back up the path towards the barrier, but instead of going right through, he stands aside. So you said you walked through last time? Show me. I pause a moment to summon my magic. Keldrin watches, intrigued, as violet magic, or violet, surrounds my hands, and like before, the barrier parts for me as I bring it forward. I duck through and watch as Keldrin follows me just behind. It closes again, concealed and hidden once more.
I still don't understand how that is possible, but that will have to wait for later. For now, we have to finally face the beast in her den.
That's a bit of a cold way to refer to the Empress, Keldrin.
Trust me, that's as close as familial as either of us will get to be for as long as we live.
I wonder how old the Empress is. Surely. Your Highness, your ladyship. Oh no, that's Elias. Your Highness, your ladyship. We turn just as Elias runs up, breathless. It's terrible. It's terrible. Ashen, they're attacking the palace. Oh no. What? Oh, I'm gonna have to do the turn-based battle.
Elias,
Elliot.
fetch my sword at once. And you, do you know any battle magic?
Sure I do. Apparently, I don't know. Well, yes, of course, but I've never...
Stay close to me then. Keep your guard up, and whatever you do, do not engage without me. Understood?
Okay, keep my guard up, and do not engage without Keldrin. Great. Elias returns and hands Keldrin his sword. Meanwhile, I can barely focus enough to summon even the most basic forms of magic. Ashen, here in the capital, in the palace, of all places. How? No. Why? I must have started hyperventilating because the next moment, Keldrin is gripping my shoulders lightly and bringing me back to the present, my head swimming.
Listen to me. Are you able to handle this, or do you need to run?
I know I have no battle experience, but I'm not going to run away from this. Not now.
Just stay close to me and put what you've learned at that fancy school to good use. Trust your instincts. They may just save your life.
Okay, I'm just gonna save here, because you say that, but I have not really done this before. I feel emboldened by Keldrin's words and smile at him. He's right, after all. I'm a Lumen scholar and a violet mage. I can do this. The moment is shattered when horrible screams erupt around us and two creatures approach.
Stand your ground.
Okay. We're surrounded. Easy now. They're not exactly intelligent creatures. This will be easy. Then, how did they get in? I don't know, but I intend to find out. Ooh, I like this. Oh, okay, so you tag. I dodged the enemy one's attack, great. And you, Keldrin, attack enemy for 12 HP. It's my turn now. Can I do magic? No. Can I can't order? I can't? No. Okay.
By the light of Meridus!
I like how his cape is flowing. Keldrin used Chroma Blast on enemy. Enemy 1 dodged. It's my turn. I can't. Can I not do... try the blast. Ooh, yay. Enemy 1 has lost 15 HP.
Exceptional. Keep it up.
I've never attacked a living thing in my life. And you still haven't. These things are barely alive. Strong heart, Chantal. This is only the beginning. He dodged enemy 1's attack. Okay. I'm gonna use more magic because I don't think I can really attack anyone. It's getting weaker. You're a natural. Can we celebrate after we've won? Come now. May as well have a little bit of fun with this. Oh, this is kind of fun. I mean, I've seen the turn-based, like, battling before, but I haven't seen it in, like, this type of... I mean, it's giving me Pokemon. That's probably the only time I've done turn-based battling. It's with Pokemon, and that was a long time ago at this point. This is not my idea of any fun.
Enough!
Yay.
Are you alright?
I am. Actually, I think I'm getting the hang of this.
Glad to hear it. But don't relax now. More are coming.
Oh my god, more are coming. I mean, I have full points right now. Oh my goodness. Okay. What's gonna happen now? There's 3 of them. Okay, you do that. You dodge. Or I got attacked. Okay. Oh, you got attacked. Okay. Can I... Can't do magic? Question mark? Why can't I do magic? Am I just, like, not allowed to? Okay. Should I... Okay.
They won't expect that.
Okay. Okay.
Not bad.
Okay, but what do I do about you? Can I do anything for you? Why do I try to keep attacking?
You're
I'm
no
gonna
match
die.
for me.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, you did a special move. Oh. Okay, great, because I wasn't sure about this.
Enough!
Oh, yay. My knees are shaking so badly, I could barely think of conjuring up another spell. I can't even hear my heartbeat in my own chest, over the ringing in my ears. I watch as Keldrin delivers the final blow upon the 2 Ashen. One falls immediately to the might of Keldrin's magic. The other still stands, although heavily wounded. All around me, I hear more growling and roaring sounds. Keldrin! We're surrounded! He doesn't answer me, staring down intently at the Ashen. At first, it seems as though he's going to finish it off with his sword. But then... The ash... It spoke! Keldrin takes a step back, sword at the ready. Impossible. The Ashen crawls back a couple of paces before it lowers its head to the ground, limbs shaking with the effort. Withered lips form a sneer as it looks up at Keldrin. What is it doing? It's not attacking. Or... Neither Keldrin nor I can believe it. The Ashen spoke. All around us the growls turn to hums and chitters, which is somehow more chilling than the mindless growling. The wounded Ashen backs slowly away from us, leaving its fallen companion. Why are they acting so strangely? They shouldn't be here. They need to... leave. Oh. Something deep inside me flares up like a stricken match, a wave of pure magic surging from my fingertips. Light fills my vision for a few seconds, and distantly, I hear someone calling out to me. Who is that? Who is that? Chantel! My magic recedes and I slump forward. Keldrin is gripping my shoulders tightly, keeping me steady. Keldrin? The Ashen? Gone. When you did. Whatever it was that you just did. They scattered like roaches. I've never seen a violet mage do anything like that before. I don't know what came over me. I just wanted the Ashen gone. More importantly, are you alright? What happened just now? I started having visions a short while ago, and they sometimes leave me vulnerable. but this was nothing like those times. It was as if something inside me reacted to the Ashen returning. And they spoke. Keldrin, the Ashen haven't spoke since the age of the Ashen Lord. Oh. Something gold passes over Keldrin's expression. He leans back but keeps a steady grip on my shoulder. Let's focus on one thing at a time. I have to locate the rest of my family, but keep what happened now just between us, alright? We have to keep you safe until we can figure this out. I couldn't even argue if I had the strength to, but I'm grateful to him all the same. I promise. Thank you. You did very well for your first battle experience, Chantel. Let's hope it won't be a reoccurring event. Despite the situation, I can't help but let out a silent laugh. I still can't stop from shaking. And I can't tell if it's adrenaline, fear, or exhaustion that's causing it. Let's go. He keeps an arm around me as we move slowly through the gardens. To be honest, I didn't know what to think when Roshan warned me about the prince. I'm happy to say that his fears were mostly unfounded. I mean, we've only just met him on day one. Like, he is leaving a good impression. We really haven't known him for that long. As we approach the front of the palace, the true extent of the damage becomes apparent. Guards, soldiers, and civilians alike mull around the area, tending to the wounded. Some bodies don't even move from where they lie on the ground, twisted and mauled where the Ashen overwhelmed them. I feel a lurch in my stomach. Easy. Keep your eyes forward. I've got you. I manage a small nod but glance up at him. His expression is stern, reflecting that of a seasoned fighter, but even I can sense the worry radiating off of him.
Caldranon!
We both turn. Oh, the third prince. We both turn and my eyes widen when I see the third prince, Lucien, approaching. He seems breathless, but relatively unscathed as he reaches us. He eyes Keldrin with mild disdain.
I see you handled yourself perfectly, brother, and with company as well.
Oh, you do look like your mother. Sorry, I'm just like, wow, the green is really, really going. What's with that tone?
This is my advisor as of today. It's unfortunate that her first day was met with this invasion, but she has already proven a skilled magician.
Absolutely. Keldrin?
Skilled enough to address you without titles?
At my insistence, Lucien. Enough of this. Where is father? Rudolus?
A shadow falls over the third prince's face, and I feel a chill in my bones.
Father is with mother, of course. And just inside the Great Hall. He'll want to see you as well. Go quickly. I've got to assist the garrison with the body count.
Of course.
We start to head over to the palace when Lucien holds up his hand.
One moment. I wish to speak with your advisor quickly.
Why?
At a time like this,
It's imperative. By order of the Empress.
I stiffen at his words, but I give Keldrin a nod. Go. I'll meet with you shortly.
don't be long.
He sends his half-brother a disdainful glare before going off to find his father.
You're my brother's new advisor.
Yep. Yes, Prince Lucien.
Unlike my brother, I don't get distracted by any pretty face put in front of me.
But I'm pretty.
I've done some research, see, into your credentials. It would appear that, distantly, we are cousins of sorts.
Okay, but you also said I'm pretty, so that's all I'm getting from this. Also, it doesn't matter. Yes, we are related. It doesn't even matter. I fail to see how this is relevant at this time. Exactly.
I will be keeping my eye on you. Don't lead my family to ruin.
Why would I do that? He turns, effectively dismissing me as he leaves to do his duty at the garrison. Arrogant upstart. Seems even the most slippery serpent can't seem to see beyond his nose. Keldrin? Has he been behind me this whole time? Even though we share our father's blood, he's every inch his mother's son. Come, we must meet with my father. Right, of course. Lead the way, please. Keldrin takes my arm gently and escorts me towards the palace entrance.
Oh, there you are.
Oh. Oh, I love your outfits, sir. Emperor? Your outfit's like majestic and stuff. You truly are the Emperor. Wow, I can totally see it with your guys' outfits all together. We both pause, and the entire grounds grow quiet as Emperor Kostas emerges from the palace. Phoenicia walks up behind him, arms folded demurely, but expression grim as she keeps her head up and eyes forward. Prince Lucian, Emperor Kostas, Emperor Phoenicia, and Keldrin are all accounted for, and safe. But where's Crown Prince Rudolus?
I am sure that you all have several questions. No Ashen has ever reached the capital city since the Dark Times, and to suddenly be attacked like this is nothing short of monstrous.
Whispers from the crowd sound from all around us, adding to the sense of panic that permeates the air.
In due time, I will do my best to answer those questions. However, I must speak with my family in private. In the meantime, please look after our wounded and cooperate with the garrison in fortifying our defenses.
Okay.
I have the utmost faith in you. The people. May Meridus watch over us during these dark hours.
With those final words, the crowd disperses. The Emperor waves Keldrin inside. I keep a respectable distance at first, but Keldrin motions me to stand by him. Kostas' entire form seems to wilt the closer we go, as if the weight of the world resting on his shoulders grows too heavy for him to bear.
Are you all right, Keldrinon?
What? Sorry, can I get what's the meaning behind Keldrinon? Because I like it, but I'm like, it's such a long name, which is like fun. But I'm curious about like what's the origin and the meaning behind the name. It's a nice name, and I like that it can shorten to Keldrin.
Yes, Father. I'm relieved to see that you're safe. But where is Rudolus? Is he injured?
A dark shadow falls over the Emperor's face, and even Phoenicia turns her head away. Dread settles in my stomach as Kostas shakes his head.
My dear boy.
No.
I'm sorry, but Rudolus is gone.
No.
He fought well, and took many of the enemy's numbers with him, but we were too late to aid him in time.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
You lie!
By the septum, I truly wish I was.
The loss of our crown prince will be felt deeply by the people. In the wake of this disaster, it's imperative that we present a united front.
Rudolus is gone! Have you no shame? Do you feel nothing?
I feel a great deal, Keldrinon. Fear, dread, uncertainty. Who are you to judge me? While he was not of my blood, your brother was a warm presence in the palace, and he will be missed severely by everyone.
Oh, what does that mean for you, Keldrin?
Speaking of your blood, why is Lucian not here with us?
He grieves in his own manner, and I'm sure he will return shortly.
Damn it all!
Emperor Kostas raises a hand and places it on Keldrin's shoulder, tempering the coming outburst before it has a chance to erupt.
I never thought I'd live to see my greatest fear realized. Outliving one of my sons. Right now, we need you more than ever.
Father.
Your brother took so much on his shoulders these past few years. Somehow, we must find a way to carry on his legacy. Somehow.
Emperor Kostas bows his head, and I swear I see his shoulders shake. There's a grim silence as I watch the family mourn a lost son and brother. Keldrin's shoulders sag slightly. A startling thought hits me, though, through the haze like a punch to the gut. Oh, Septim's grace. Keldrin is the second prince, and he's next in line for the throne. I glance over, and by the look on Phoenicia's expression, she's reached the same conclusion as I have. Lucion's words from before echo in my mind. I'm potentially responsible for the future empire. Cruel Rona, what have I been thrown into? 1/7 of the Septim, goddess of the fates and the patron of goddess of Minerva and all violet magi, she is worshipped as the primary goddess of Rovenia. I should leave, and give the imperial family some time to grieve. I glanced briefly at each family member, making sure none were looking my way before taking a few tentative steps back. Turning, I quickly headed towards the door, pausing briefly to glance back. Prince Keldrin is looking at me leave, and my heart breaks again. I send him a nod of encouragement before leaving. I bow once again, noticing Phoenicia's willful avoidance of eye contact with me while Keldrin's back is turned. With a heavy heart, I head back towards the courtyard. Outside remains the same as before, only this time, I feel lost in a haze. I look around at all the injured struggling around me, and I have to hold my arms tightly. I truly thought things would look up after I met Prince Keldron, but now, this will always be remembered as a dark day. Shaking myself out of stupor, I approach the first person I see and ask if there's anything I need to do to help, or I can do to help. The remaining daylight hours pass by in a blur as I help the green mages apply their potions and salves to the injured. Eventually, a servant insists that I go to my room and leave the rest to the guards. Reluctantly, I retire for the evening. This is a nice room. I know this is not the time to comment that, but this is a nice room. The moment the door shuts behind me, I lean against it in a slump, burying my face between my hands. This is too much. I should just head back to the academy. What use can I possibly be here? A knock on the door disrupts my spiraling thoughts. One moment. I open the door and Elias stands there looking perplexed. Your ladyship? Elias, hello. Is everything okay? I have a message from Prince Keldron, my lady. He said it was urgent that you receive it and that I give you this. What is this? A gem? A stone? In his hands he holds a message stone, the glowing rune illuminating the darkened space. A message from the prince? At this hour? I see. Thank you. Elias bows once after he hands the message stone over and runs off back towards the palace while I look down at the note. With shaking hands, I activate the rune and release the message. If you're truly serious about being my advisor, then I would ask you to stay. Meet me tonight by the old mural. No given time, no further instructions, just a simple request. I came here expecting to be the advisor to a prince, not the future emperor of Gallons. And to top it all off, the Ashen have returned. My vision swims. Once more, and the voice from before whispers to me softly.
Have faith. Believe in. Together.
The haze fades, but the headache pulses throughout my body like a snare drum. I think I prefer the dreams to this. But that voice, they told me to have faith and believe in something. These visions paired with the Ashen attack cannot be a coincidence. I don't know what's going on, but I must see this through. I mean, I'm not gonna let you leave. My choice is to stay. I know the story's gonna make us stay, but that would be my choice. Besides, I now have something to prove to Keldron when I meet him tonight. And that is the end. I wanna So everyone, please, if you love that, check it out for yourself. You can also make different choices than I did, because I obviously made some choices. Wow. Okay. Love the voice acting in this, love the art, love the music, love the animation, love the art, love the backgrounds, love the the sound effects. Love it all. Yeah. Play it if you want to check out some choices for yourself. Let's see what the extras are. The extras are the... Oh, there is a glossary. Okay, great. That's perfect. I was gonna say they definitely need a glossary. Yeah, I really love that. Please play the game, the demo of the game, if you want to check out the other choices. Also, I highly encourage you to support the Kickstarter campaign. I definitely will after this. Again, the Kickstarter has just started a day or so ago, or just today, I can't remember. So please consider supporting the Kickstarter campaign. It is wonderful, as you can already seen from my playthrough of it. It's very smooth and I really like it. It's very dramatic. I'm sad that we didn't get to know about Brutalist because that would have been fun, but I guess that makes sense given that it puts Keldrin into the position of being the Emperor of Gallons. And us, our character, as the advisor to the future Emperor of Gallons, which is a very big responsibility. And it's different because, like, you know, in the beginning, Keldrin's kind of like, yeah, I do whatever I want. Like, obviously, I fulfill my, like, princely duties, but I don't really have to worry about, like, inheriting the throne and all that because my brother will. And now he's kind of just thrown into it, and I don't know, like, what their timeline was for, like, getting the next emperor do a coronation or whatever, but, like, who knows what's gonna happen. And with the Ashen are speaking now. The Ashen are talking again, like when the Ashen Lord was still around, and so that was at least 1,000 years ago. I have no idea. So I'm very intrigued by this world. I'm sure that this full game is going to be so beautiful. I'm a little scared to see when this game is going to actually be planned to be fully released because I've definitely backed other visual novels and I'm going to have to wait for a while. But I definitely would want to wait for this one. It's beautiful and lovely, and I had so much fun playing it. So, again, if you also enjoyed that, please consider looking at the Kickstarter page. I'll leave it linked in the description below. If you want to play the demo, I'll also link the game, the itch.io page in the description below. What else? If you like the video, please like it. Please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see me play more visual novel demos, whether they're from a game jam like a Otome Jam or O2A2 Jam 2023, or just visual novels in general, because I love doing these. I have so much fun. All these beautiful stories that people bring to life, wonderful. So yes. And at very last, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye!